Bourdieu argues we buy opportunities not just through using money but also by drawing on our social relationships, group memberships and our knowledge and experiences of the world. From what I have experienced on placement, children's parents spend a lot of money on extracurricular activities to help them stand out and progress higher in the academic league tables. However, some of these children took these opportunities for granted.
An example of this is the school trip to a museum. Many children were unimpressed, and it can be argued if this experience was given to those in a deprived school, the children would have been enthusiastically engaging with the learning. Thus, I disagree with Bourdieu's view, as although you can buy cultural capital and experience to help you progress, it depends on how you engage with it in regard to how it helps you to advance.
Within the school setting, social class can be categorised into two factors, external and internal. External factors include home influences, family background and wider society. Cultural deprivation theorists argue that most of us begin to acquire the basic values, attitudes and skills that are needed for educational success through primary socialisation in the family. This theory states that many working class families fail to socialise their children adequately. Hyman argues working class families transmit a sense of fatalism and low aspirations to their children, which translates into a perception that school is irrelevant to them.
Children who experience this upbringing may believe school is of no value for them. This can in turn affect their attainment as they choose not to listen, resulting in them falling behind. On placement, I experienced a young working class parent who had little academic ambition, which influenced her son's attitude towards learning. The child refused to partake in classroom activities and interact with other students. This was due to his neglected home life, in which he was often left with no structure or routine to follow.
However, these conclusions are open to the criticism of overgeneralization. Further, theorists such as Lewis have argued that these approaches are guilty of oversimplifying the processes involved. Goffman contradicts this concept and states that identities can be spoiled by the way in which society and individuals within it respond to them. He argues that some characteristics result in stigma.
Internal factors include the teacher and pupil relationship and inequalities between schools. A frequent occurrence that can affect a child's self-esteem is labelling, which can be positive or negative. For example, the labels which teachers give to pupils can influence the construction and development of student identities. This in turn can affect their attitudes towards school, their behaviour, and ultimately their level of achievement in education.
This is clearly not always the case and can be negotiated. Interactionists argue that labelling can affect pupils' achievement by creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. The pupil internalises the teacher's expectations, which becomes part of their self-concept, so that they now actually become the kind of pupil the teacher believed them to be in the first place.
We can make our practice more inclusive through promoting a class of equal opportunities. As teachers, we can remove class stigmas and create an inclusive culture by challenging children of all areas of the curriculum. To give an example, bringing in special visitors to the classroom will provide equal opportunities for every child, as well as enhance their own educational experience, because they are making links with the real world, therefore moving away from the stigma of lower classes having lower academic ability.